Spanish police stop second attack after 13 killed in Barcelona. Spanish police say they have killed 4 people in Cambrils to stop what they say was a second attempted attack after an earlier one in Barcelona. Police warn people to stay off the streets, with shots reported in the port of Cambrils. 13 people died and dozens were injured when a van plowed into crowds in Barcelona's Las Ramblas area on Thursday afternoon. Spain's Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy said it was a jihadist attack. Another attacker was injured by the police gunfire in Cambrils, a police spokeswoman said. Spanish media reported that the Cambrils attackers struck several people with a van early on Friday morning, leaving them injured, in what appeared to be an attempt to replicate the Barcelona attack. Tourists and locals fled when a rented vehicle sped down Las Ramblas in the center of the city, mowing down people. 2 people have been arrested, but police say neither was the driver, who fled on foot. So-called Islamic State has said it was behind the van attack in Las Ramblas, saying in a brief statement carried by its AMC news agency that it was carried out by Islamic State soldiers. The group gave no further evidence or details to back this claim. The authorities also say an explosion on Wednesday evening at a house outside Barcelona that left 1 person dead was connected to the Las Ramblas attack. Dozens of gas cylinders were found at the house in the town of Alcanar, about 100 kilometers, 60 miles, southwest of Barcelona, and Reuters quoted a police source as saying residents were preparing explosives. In another incident, police shot dead a man who drove into officers at a checkpoint on the outskirts of Barcelona, but the authorities said there was no evidence that he was connected to the attack in Las Ramblas. Police have released a photo of a man named Idriss Bakir, whose documents were used to rent the van involved in the attack. Local media say he is in his 20s, and was born in Morocco. However, latest reports suggest he has told police he was not involved, and that his documents were stolen. The attack happened at the height of the season in one of Europe's top tourist destinations. Witnesses said the van deliberately targeted people, weaving from side to side as it drove down the boulevard. Vehicles have been used to ram into crowds in a series of attacks across Europe since July last year. Barcelona is just the latest European city to witness the terrible effects of a vehicle attack on an iconic or soft target. In Nice a year ago, Bastille Day celebrations were targeted, then a Christmas market in Berlin. In London, Westminster, and London Bridge, as well as Finsbury Park, saw cars and vans used as weapons. In the UK, new barriers have been put in place to mitigate some of the risks at key locations, and there is discussion of imposing checks on those renting vans, but security services in Britain, as well as across Europe, are all too aware that there are limits to what they can do to spot and stop those planning murder in this way. The weapons employed are readily available and there is little or no training, coordination or planning required. This means there are few points where individuals can be spotted by the intelligence services. Although so-called Islamic State has released a statement saying what it calls its soldiers had carried out the Barcelona attack, it is not yet clear whether there was any direct link to the group or if they were simply inspired by its call to act. The language used often indicates the latter. Either way, authorities will be bracing themselves for the possibility of further attacks of a similar nature. Prime Minister Rajoy has traveled to Barcelona and declared 3 days of national mourning. Terrorists are defeated by unity, he said. Barcelona's mayor, Ada Colau, said the city would hold a minute of silence on Friday at midday. The United States has offered its assistance to Spain. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson also said consular assistance was being provided to Americans in the city, and urged U.S. nationals to check in with their families. Terrorists around the world should know the United States and our allies are resolved to find you and bring you to justice, he told reporters. Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said 3 Australians were caught up in the attack. 1 woman was seriously injured. We stand in absolute resolute solidarity with the people of Spain, Mr. Turnbull said. UK Prime Minister Theresa May said her thoughts were with the victims, adding that the UK stands with Spain against terror. French President Emmanuel Macron said, "We remain united and determined